Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. Today on Suncoast FYI, we talk to owners Sheri, Penxa, and Hope Kennedy from Painting with a Twist, owner Moriah Taliaferro of Tidy Life Company, reverse mortgage banker Glen Barich from Bank of England, and manager Dave Barich from the Sarasota Music Archive. All next on Suncoast FYI. Our first guests this week are owners Sheri, Penxa, and Hope Kinney of Painting with a Twist, right here in Sarasota and Bradenton. Welcome to the show, ladies. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, since you've been here, you've added another Painting with a Twist, so you have another new location. You have 3 now, correct?
We do.
And where are they?
Our location in Sarasota is on Clark Road. We have a studio on Manatee Avenue in Bradenton, and then we just opened on State Road 70 in the Lakewood Ranch area.
Excellent. Congratulations. Everybody
you.
loves painting. So tell our viewers what Painting with a Twist is. What's the twist?
Painting with a Twist. It looks like art, but it feels like fun. We are really about the party. We provide a space where you can come in and with family, friends, your team from work, and just enjoy 2 to 3 hours
Of relaxation.
of relaxing.
Yeah.
And no experience is required, so many people are very surprised when they leave with their painting.
So don't be nervous about your skill levels.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take any skill. You have the teachers there that are going to give you guidance, and you're going to go home with a beautiful painting at the end of the evening and have fun while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Right? So who's your typical customer? It sounds like you have quite a broad range.
We do have a
that.
broad range. We say from 5 to 105. We originally thought our typical customer was us. That's
a
how
good
we got
place to start.
started
Sure.
in this. But we have found that we do a lot of children's parties. We do adult parties, couples, team building during the day. Our typical customer is any age
Everyone.
with no painting artistic ability.
So the team building, so businesses actually come in, bring their group
Yes.
from work, and give them a relaxation, kind of a work play program. Is
Right.
that what you do?
Yeah, it's a fun thing to get together your team that you normally are just working together.
Yeah.
This is very relaxed, and so you can come in, and there are different ways of doing team building events. We can do where you rotate on the different paintings. We're doing one that's coming up for an agency here in town, and we're going to do their logo. So that should be
Wonderful. Oh,
And then
how
they
fun.
can go back and display it in their office.
Yeah, and hang it on their walls. Yeah. Now, typically, what's the size? What's the maximum number of people that you can have in there?
we have 2 rooms in 2 of our studios, and they hold close to 60 people between the 2 rooms. So we also do off-site events. So if your company is big and you want us to come to you, or you're in a community center and
yeah.
you want us to come to you, we do that too.
And how many teachers? I know that you have a wonderful range of teachers, because I saw that on your website. How many teachers do you typically have? Say if you have a group of 60 people, how many teachers are with them and kind of rotating while the
We would always
class is
have
going
one
on?
teacher on stage, and that's the party host
On
for
stage, okay,
or
okay.
he or she is on stage with the music, and they are leading the whole group. And then depending on the number of people in the class, we have a artist on the floor walking around, assisting people.
Okay.
So any class that's over 15, 17 would have an artist, a floor artist,
Okay.
also helping.
So let's walk our viewers through. What can they expect when they walk in your door? What give us a beginning to end kind of scenario.
Yes, hopefully, they're If they're adults, they're walking in with a bottle of wine or something to relax them a little bit.
Okay,
Bring your own. Bring your own. The music's playing. We greet you, take you to your seat. You get all settled in before we start.
Okay.
And it is a step-by-step process.
Okay,
so
and all of the supplies are there?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a specific painting or, like you said, logo that they're going to be working on?
Yes.
At that time?
Yes, so the painting that you come to paint, you can find the paintings and the dates and times of each painting we do on our website.
Okay.
paintingwithatwist.com, and there you can put in the location that is closest to you.
Okay.
And look at our event calendar and find a painting that really draws your interest and sign up for that painting. And everyone that night will be painting the same thing. That's
Okay.
what the instructor will be leading
So
you
the
on.
pieces that you brought with you today are things that students have done?
Now these are actually what our artists have done. This is called the pre-paint that you're seeing, so you know what the finished product, if you want it to look like that, should look like that.
Okay.
So these are done by our artists, but we find that our customers are doing stuff that's phenomenal.
Okay, wonderful. Well, okay, so just to recap a little bit, you have children's classes, you have adults classes for men and women, building, team building. You have a monthly schedule on your website, and the classes are about 2 to 3 hours long, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Where can our viewers go to find out more details?
Our website would be the best place,
Okay.
paintingwithatwist.com, and then you can put in your zip code and find the location nearest you.
Okay, and phone number that you'd like to leave with us?
941-822-0357.
Okay.
If you see any other numbers on the website, they all are directed to one center location.
Okay, so they'll reach you one way or the other. Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies. Nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
Great. Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we talk to a new local business helping people on the Suncoast give them TLC in their lives. So please stay with us. Our next guest is Moriah Taliaferro, owner of Tidy Life Company here on the Suncoast. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's such a pleasure to meet you too. Thank you for
I
having
need
me.
you. I need you. I need somebody to tidy my life up. Tell our viewers exactly what you do, though.
Tidy Life is a company that focuses on helping people organize their lives and help them declutter. And so a lot of people ask me, what does it mean to have a tidy life? And it means to have a simple life that is clear and free of clutter. And I compare that often to a museum curator. And what they do is they intently pick out the pieces of art that are going to magnify the exhibit's value as a whole. We are the curators of our lives. We have the power and the discernment to pick those activities, the people that we want to be around, the possessions that we surround ourselves with that are going to magnify our lives and complement our lives as a whole. So you could essentially say a tidy life is curating your life.
Okay.
If that
And
makes sense.
again, through the years, we collect a lot more things and objects than we really need. So what you come in and do is qualify
Right.
by talking to your customer, right?
Right.
What's important to them.
Exactly. And I think what's important for a lot of people to do is they need to understand what is the problem. Because it's really great to say, yes, let's have a tidy life, let's be organized, but why isn't everybody like that?
Yeah, and why is it so important?
Well,
you know?
it's important because, first of all, we have a challenge with accumulation.
Exactly.
We've all heard this saying that there's a place for everything and everything in its place.
Right.
But no one's actually taught us what it means to have a life that's organized, how to actually do it, let alone the difference between needing something and wanting something, right?
Yes.
So we're in this day and age where everybody wants to accumulate. They are stuck into accumulating and acquiring, so much so that the average American home has tripled in size in the past 50 years. Can you believe that?
Okay, I can believe it. So how do you help different people? Because everybody, you said on your website, you know, you help with getting the house ready if you're trying to sell it, or seasonally supervising, like changing from summer to winter,
Right.
or getting rid of stuff. So you go in and you assess.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I do is I come in, I get to know the person. We identify what it is that they want to accomplish. What are their problem areas? From there, we decide, you know, what's going to be their budget, timeline, things like that. And then we set a game plan that I'll execute alongside with them. And my services, like you mentioned, they kind of range. They can really be categorized in home organization and then home management. So I'll help people tackle those little projects that are really hard to get done. No one really has time to do it,
Right.
like digitizing files or
Yes.
organizing a closet.
Or a garage.
Or a garage,
Yes.
exactly. But I'll also help the people that they've inherited all this stuff that they really don't know what to do with, right? Not knowing what to do with someone's possessions is probably the hardest thing. But I'll even help someone that needs to manage their home while they're away, keep an eye on it while they're gone, and also freshen it up when they're getting ready to return.
Getting ready to come home. So you come in and you would give them a price quote based upon what they want.
Right.
And you can always, again, tell them, well, if you want to scale back, we can do this part of it, and then you can continue later
Right,
on. So you don't
right.
have to do it all at once.
Exactly.
And people may want to take baby steps, because if they've got all of these things, it's probably going to be pretty hard to let go.
It is.
How do you get them to do that?
Well, it's a process. It's a process for them. Number one, they have to visualize what it is they want with their space.
Yeah.
What do they envision their life to be? Do they envision keeping this stuff around for the rest of their life?
Yeah.
If they do, then that's great. But if they have identified that half the stuff that they're surrounded by doesn't really bring any joy and doesn't serve a purpose in their lives, then maybe it's time to think about purging it a little bit. So it's a process.
All right. So if you were going to give me or somebody else some tips to begin,
Okay.
what are the ways that we can start?
Well, I would first of all encourage you to walk around your home, your office, your storage, and start to ask yourself some questions like, when I walk into this space, do I actually feel free and creative, or do I feel like I'm bogged down by the things that are surrounding me? Does half of this stuff actually have any purpose in my life, or am I keeping it around because I feel obligated to? And how do I actually,
Obligated, I like
exactly,
that,
many
yeah.
people feel obligated to keep it.
Yeah.
Also, how do I envision the space to actually look like? What would be the ideal and highest and best use for my garage, or for that extra room that's full of all this clutter and I can't even walk into it? And then, you know, if they find that they can't really seem to get that vision and put a game plan together on their own, that's where I come in. And we'll together set that up, and we'll work alongside each other to make sure that it comes to fruition.
Wonderful,
So.
wonderful. How can our viewers get a hold of you? Because I think there's a lot of us out there that need your services.
Absolutely. Well, I'm constantly on my email as well as on my phone. They can reach me at area code 941-504-9910, or they can reach my email, which is also on my website at thetidylifecompany.com.
Well, thank you so much, and best of luck.
Well,
You're
thank you. I
delightful.
appreciate you having me on this set.
My pleasure.
Thank
dear.
you.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we talk about reverse mortgages and some of the misconceptions surrounding it, so please stay tuned. Reverse mortgage banker Glen Barich from the Bank of England is here in the studio today to discuss reverse mortgages. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I know this is quite the interesting question that's on a lot of people's minds. So can you tell us about a reverse mortgage process and how it works, Glen?
If we have a couple hours, sure.
Okay. Well, let's cut it down to about
Sure.
5 minutes.
Sure. Pretty much a reverse mortgage, it's a program that was started by the government, so that's a nice thing. There's a lot of consumer protection. So some people are scared about what is a reverse mortgage.
Right.
So know that the government has put a lot of protection in there. But it's made for people that want to stay in their homes, and they've built up some equity in their homes and trying to figure out how to cover maybe some of their expenses. What happens in a lot of cases, some people, their income is a lot lower than they expected, and
Yep.
their expenses are more than they expected.
Okay.
So it's a great way to help seniors that are having some cash flow issues.
There's two different scenarios. You earlier said when we were chatting that you know, somebody may own their home outright, or they may still have a mortgage on it. How does that work differently?
Sure.
in
So
that scenario?
let's start with the free and clear, and that was sort of the main thing years ago. Pay off your mortgage, have a mortgage burning party, everything is great.
Right.
So now they could take some of that equity, and we can give them a monthly income. If they have a $200,000 home, maybe they're going to get, you know, $800 a month to help add on to their Social Security, whatever they have as a
Right.
pension. They can have a line of equity. So if maybe they just have some expenses a couple times a year where if they need to put a new air conditioner, they just don't have the money for that,
Right.
or a new roof, or a new car, or want to take a trip they always wanted to take.
Right.
They can use that for that.
Okay. And
Now-
what if they have still have a pending
Sure, and
mortgage?
so if they have a mortgage, what we'd have to do is pay off that mortgage. So they have to have some equity in the home. If it's upside down, sorry, we can't help them with that.
Okay.
But they have to have some equity, typically 40% or more equity, but we
Mm-hmm.
would pay off that mortgage and eliminate a mortgage payment. So if someone has a
Okay.
$600 mortgage payment, it could be a big bonus to someone making $1,200 a month Social Security.
Now, obviously, like you said, there's a lot of misconceptions about reverse mortgages. What are some of those?
I think the biggest one everyone asks is they say, well, Glenn, I want a reverse mortgage, let's just do it, and I know you're going to take my property, and I live here till I die. And that's so wrong. It
Okay.
just, you know, it
Yeah.
hurts me because I want to educate people. Sorry
Yes.
for hitting the mic there. So we do not touch the title of the property. So what they do is they have a mortgage on it. So what they borrow, it accrues some interest on it. So they just have to pay back what they've borrowed plus some interest. So if the house goes up in value, they sell it a couple years down the road. If they're going to downsize, move close to the grandchildren, they still own the home and can sell it and just pay us off and carry on.
Say they pass away
Okay.
and their children, family inherit the house. Then what happens to the house? How does that all figure into a reverse
Sure.
mortgage?
So one of the biggest things is the non-recourse loans. That if for some reason you see a downcline in the market and
Right.
the house is upside down,
Yeah.
we do not go after the estate, the heirs. That doesn't happen at all. So
Okay.
typically,
Okay.
if they pass, the heirs, they would come down. If they want to keep the home, just pay off our loan. Just
Okay.
pay off what mom and dad have borrowed plus some interest. If they don't want the home, they put it on the market, find your local real estate professional, put it on the market, pay off the mortgage, and they take the proceeds and do whatever the estate or
All right.
will says.
And you give them time to do that.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because that was something, I mean, I've been thinking about this, and I hear a lot about reverse mortgages, and that was one of my concerns. When something like that happens, my beneficiaries would have a chance to work with you and not get caught and lose the home.
Correct.
Okay.
And that raises the next thing, which is you might have heard of someone that lost their home with a reverse mortgage.
Right.
How did grandma get kicked out of her home?
Exactly.
So the basics of a reverse mortgage is it has to be your primary residence. You have to pay your tax, insurance, and upkeep it. So some people out there might have things happen that maybe they were making $800 a month Social Security. How can they pay taxes, insurance,
Right.
and gas for the car, and food, and cable, electric? So they'll let those things go. And if they let those go, that hurts our collateral.
Okay.
So that's what they know from day one. And FHA has made some changes to try to help reduce the amount of possible foreclosures out
Okay.
there. So.
And the money that you're giving them each month could actually go to pay the insurance.
Yes, exactly.
And the taxes and everything. So it really does help them keep their home and feel safe and secure. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
I guess the biggest thing, which I might not have mentioned, is they never make a payment
Okay.
on the reverse mortgage.
All right.
And it has FHA, HUD protection by the government. So this is not something that I invented in my backyard. It is a government-sponsored program with a lot of consumer protection.
And they can go and contact you at...
Sure. BOEFlorida.com is our main website.
Okay.
That's the best way to reach us, and we're right here locally.
Okay, and again, yes, there's a lot more involved, but thank you. I think you really answered some very pertinent questions.
Thank
this
you for your
morning.
time.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we find out what hidden treasures you can find at the Sarasota Music Archive, so please stay with us. Our last guest this week is manager Dave Berry from the Sarasota Music Archive, here to discuss what their music collections consist of. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you. And this is, I think, a hidden gem in Sarasota. This archive is housed in the Selby Library upstairs, right?
Yes, it is. It's on the second floor,
Okay.
back in the corner.
All right.
We have a store there that sells records.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very nice
Wow.
place.
So tell us a little bit more about what it is and what our viewers can find there.
Sure. The archive started in 1980 by Mildred Petrie. It actually started as part of the Sarasota Opera across the street. And over time it grew and grew, and it eventually ended up at the Selby Library.
In about 2000, right? It moved there in
Yeah,
about
around 2000.
Okay.
And it has hundreds of thousands of items, records, tapes, CDs, sheet music. It's one of the largest collections of sheet music in the region.
But they're not all for sale. Some
They're-
of them are in the collection, and then some of them are available for purchase.
Right, in
Okay.
the store, some of our duplicates are for sale. And in the back, we have our rare items and items for singers and musicians to look up as far as what they want to do for research and items like that.
And it's open to the public when?
It's open each weekday, Monday through Thursday, from 10 till 3.
So you brought some really interesting things here. Some very,
I did. I thought I'd bring some things that were associated with music history in August.
in August, and Elvis.
Elvis unfortunately passed away in August of 1977.
Okay.
This is his first record.
All
It's an
right.
original pressing, and it's from 1956.
And this one here?
This is Jerry Garcia. He was born and passed away in August,
Wow.
the same month. This is a rare album because it's actually upside down. The original cover didn't have any text or title on it, and the record company didn't like that. So they attached a sticker to it. Unfortunately,
gosh.
the first 500 records, they attached it
So
upside
they're
down.
real collector's items.
Yeah, so that's a
Okay.
collectible item.
And then this one here is so nostalgic. Oh my goodness.
Woodstock happened in 1969, August 15th it started. There were 32 acts, and they were performing 24 hours a day. Unfortunately, it rained a little bit,
A bit,
got a little messy.
yes.
And this is a 3-album set from the movie that was released the next year in 1970.
Now, do you have any of these available, or are these just all in the collector's section?
These 3 are rare because they're first pressings and they're in very good condition. We do have other copies of these that members can actually take out if they want to.
Now, you brought something else very interesting.
I did. I have at my feet
Yes.
another August item, which is the original Edison standard phonograph. This item
Never
here was
seen one of
actually
those.
made in 1898, so this is over 100 years old. And it actually plays a cylinder, a wax cylinder, instead of a flat record. Those came later. And this is one of the actual cylinders. This cylinder itself is from 1897, so this is over 100 years old. And this is a 2-minute song on one wax cylinder.
Wow.
And it's truly portable too, because it takes no electricity or battery. All you
just
have to do
wind
is
it,
crank it up,
crank it.
and it plays a 2-minute song
All
for you.
right. Now, in addition to all of the wonderful memorabilia and collections you have, what else do you have? I know you have events.
We
as
have
well,
events
and performances.
all year round. We have performances, we have events, we have lectures. The scope and breadth of talent in Sarasota as far as music goes is incredible. And the archive is fortunate to have a lot of members, board members and volunteers that are very accomplished in music. Graduates from Juilliard Music School, professors at Boston University, and we do these events all year round.
Okay, now when is your next event coming?
We're just finishing up a nice run of events from Dr. John Goodman, who was a professor at Boston University, about the piano.
Okay.
Our next round of events is coming later in the summer, early in the fall, having to do with opera.
All right. And those begin?
Those begin in late August, early September.
Okay. Now, like you said, the general public can access most of these. Is that under supervision? How do they go about doing this?
Yes, we have our collection online.
Yep.
It's available to look up online. You can take items out, selected items that aren't rare or valuable. Online, you can look those up too. And those are found on our website, sarasotamusicarchive.org.
Wonderful. thank you so much for being here and bringing these wonderful pieces of history.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Suncoast FYI. We'll return after a short break. Coming up this week on the Suncoast, the Hotel Venezia will be hosting 50 Shades Ladies Night on Saturday, August 12th, a premium wine tasting and mail review. The event starts at 7 p.m. Comedian Aaron Kleiber will be performing at McCurdy's Comedy Theater through August 13th. McCurdy's will also be hosting Beneva Fruitville's Drag Queen Bingo Bonanza on Sunday, August 13th, starting at 8 p.m. Pilgrims at the Urbanite Theater will have performances through September 10th. Selby Gardens will be hosting their 37th annual juried photographic exhibition at the Payne Mansion from August 12th through September 10th. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. Just call us at 941-361-4639. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com under Programming. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.